Where they at though? Where they at though? Where they at though? We out here looking for the third. Where they at though? Where you at though? Where they at though? We out here looking for the third. In the streets trying to teach but the feast that we keep and the laws to be sealed. Tell them love not the world, not the things that we see. That's the lust of the flesh. And this world pass away, but the laws live forever. And the king of forever, they that keep up forever. Him will I make a pillar in the temple of my God. He will go no more out, he will reign over all. With a rod that's that iron, to the one that overcometh. We the kings, we the priests, we the gods on this earth. We the salt of the earth, but where they at though? Where they at though? Where they at though? We out here looking for the third. So he carried me away in the spirit, right into the wilderness. And I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of the names of blasphemy. Having 7 heads, 10 horns, and the woman was arrayed in the purple and the scarlet color, and decked with some gold and the precious stones, and the cup in her hand so abominable. And I saw a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, with whom the kings of the earth fornicate. And I heard another voice saying, don't partake in the sin, that's the great city called America. The Most High remembered her iniquities. You don't want to partake in the plagues. But where they at though? Where they at though? Where they at though? Out here looking for
Shalom, everybody. Most High in Christ bless. Hope you have had a cool Sabbath. Hope you have enjoyed your rest. It's hot. It's been hot the last couple of days. In fact, it's been so hot that they have canceled most of the 4th of July celebrations on the East Coast, even in D.C. All praises to the Most High.
All praises.
Feeling that heat.
Matter of fact, nothing like a firework. Just burn it.
You're right.
So what we're getting into today, give me a class picture. Show both of them. Let me know when you got the first one up. So on that one, you see our brother Malcolm X on the right-hand side, and then on the left-hand side, you see Sister Fannie Lou Hamer. Most of the class today, we're going to be dealing with Fannie Lou Hamer because I'm sure a lot of you don't know who she is. I've seen her a lot, but never really understood who she was. I just, you may see a video and she'll be on there for a few seconds saying something. But we're going to delve into her life, or a certain period of her life, some of the stuff she went through, to give you a glimpse of what it was like to be our people during the 60s, during the civil rights movement, where you're trying to convince people to be civil to you, to treat you as an equal human being, because they didn't look at you as equal human beings. And you're going to see that. Give me the second one. So this one is just her on there. She's giving a speech. But the scripture we're using right here is Jeremiah chapter 12 and verse 7. I have given the dearly beloved of my soul to her enemies. The Lord ain't want to do that to us, but because of our disobedience, he had to punish us. So he gave us to our enemies. That's what we're going through. There is no ease. There is no rest for us as long as we're here. The best thing you can do is be obedient. That's the only way you're going to have peace in your life. And you're still not going to escape the curses. We got to deal with them. Now, this is all of this what got me in this thought process was, excuse me, the whole appeal dealing with the case about Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. Because it's just so much crazy talk. Because you have our people that are, trying to examine the situation and see what was done wrong, how he was treated unfairly. And then, of course, you have our opposition in the comment section saying we're chimping out, calling us monkeys, calling us thugs, doing all the typical stuff that they usually do. Accusing our people, accusing us of being the worst people on earth. And we're going to touch on that a little bit because it's systematic.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, it's systematic.
If you're the last one to start a race, as a developed people and a nation inside of another nation, how much progress are you going to get? How much development are you going to get?
Some people, we're not going to hit many scriptures today. We're going to go over a lot of history. But some people bring up the fact that every movement that you look at that's been in the United States has piggybacked off of our civil rights. Us trying to get or to be treated equal. All the way up to the latest LGBTQ movement. Every single thing, they will attach themselves to it and they will have a come up. But we're going through the same damn thing over and over and over and over.
It'll be Black Lives Matter, then all of a sudden, a few months or a year later, gay Black Lives Matter, and all of a sudden.
Yeah, they're going to attach some more stuff to it. But the reason that we can't come out of this stuff, give me Jeremiah real quick. Jeremiah 31. They can come up with these different movements and get recognition. And this is like certain words you can't even use anymore. You can go back to movies in the 90s and they're saying stuff that's funny as hell for real, but you can't say it now because it offends somebody. Mm-hmm. Give me wrong place. I should be in 30. Yeah. Start at 14. Jeremiah 30 and verse 14.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 30 and verse 14. All thy lovers have forgotten thee.
So all the nations that we've gone after them and their gods trying to be like them, the Lord said they have forgotten thee. Go ahead.
They seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one. For the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased.
Right, so the Lord is doing this to us because of the multitude of our sins. The nations can't help you. He sent them against us. Go ahead.
Why criest thou for thine affliction?
Right, why you crying because you being afflicted? Why? Go ahead.
Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity.
It's incurable because the Lord is the one bringing it against us. But you want to celebrate the 4th of July. Go ahead.
Because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey.
So at the end of it, if we endure and be obedient, we'll see this last verse right here. We'll see all of our enemies go into captivity. I just got this book about slave songs, and one of the songs was admonishing our people to be patient and endure unto the end. And these songs are real short, but man, some of this stuff is so profound in it. Be patient. Don't let the devil get to you is what the song was saying.
For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord. Because they called thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, who no man seeketh after.
Right, Zion, who no man seeketh after. So let's go to Deuteronomy 28. And we're going to start at 64. How could you understand anything that's going on if you don't understand Deuteronomy 28? That's why the Christian's job is to try to take away Deuteronomy 28. They'll pull one verse. Oh, see, this doesn't apply to you. This ain't got nothing to do with the transatlantic slave trade. Therefore,
When did y'all go through this?
right.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 64.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
So let me give you an example. Because I see Deuteronomy 28 a little different. Acts 17. Acts 17 and start at 15, making a point.
The book of Acts, chapter 17 and verse 15. And they that conducted Paul brought him unto Athens, and receiving a commandment unto Silas and Timotheus, for to come to him with all speed, they departed.
Right, so they took Paul to Athens, Greece. Go ahead.
Now, while Paul waited for them at Athens, his spirit was stirred in him when he saw the city wholly given to idolatry.
So he saw the city wholly given to idolatry. This goes right back to Deuteronomy 28 and 64. You're going to be scattered among these nations, and there you're going to serve other gods. So by this time, our people are scattered every damn where. Right back to Deuteronomy 28.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life.
And this isn't just talking about Europe, because like you read in Acts, like Paul's commission was to Asia Minor. It's not just talking about there. It's talking about everywhere, including Africa, where many of our people fled. Even over time, we ended up escaping from Europe in the 1400s and being taken to Africa or escaping into Africa from both directions. Go ahead.
In the morning thou shalt say, would God it were even. And at even thou shalt say, would God it were morning. For the fear of thine heart, wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see.
Right. And here it comes. So after this, because during the time of Christ, Paul, the apostles, we were already scattered into all nations. Go ahead.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
So the last curse that you hear is put upon Israel. So after we've been scattered into all nations, then there's going to be this great slave trade on ships. That's the last curse. So that's really the last you hear of Israel right here. They're going to be sold to other nations by way of slave ships. Once they get to this land, then they're going to be auctioned off, and nobody's going to redeem them out of the captivity, because that's the job of Christ. So now, that brings us to slavery. So give me, I think I want the first video. Oh no, give me that the transatlantic slave trade picture. I like this. It's a nice one. It's some new book. I just found out about it today. Excellent imagery showing us being sold. North America, South America, Africa.
Transatlantic slave trade, a deep dive into history, economics, and human struggle.
Yeah, that's what it's about. People got rich off of it. Now,
Notice how it ain't just from Africa to the East Coast or even the islands. You got places in South America. And if you look at one of these arrows right here, it goes all the way down to the bottom of South America. So it shows our people
because
scattered.
so Aria is saying that on this picture right here, you see how we were taken to Brazil. Known fact, the most of the slaves were taken from Africa and taken to Brazil, and that was early. See, that was early. You had Central, or you had the Caribbean islands, then you had the Spanish and the Portuguese taking our people into Brazil.
They speak Portuguese
Yes.
in Brazil.
Even according to modern stats, they have the most black, like outside of Africa, they have the most black people like in any country. Brazil,
Yeah.
even America, they have more black people.
Even after Blanquimento, y'all can look that up. Then and you had something also called seasoning, where they would take you to the Caribbean first, and if you could last for 3 or 4 months, then they would ship you off because it was so hard. It was really hard on you, really hard on the body being a slave. And then finally, North America. That's why they say that 1619 stuff.
Yeah, that's some Virginia.
Yeah.
But I mean, imagine, y'all, we complain about jet lag. Imagine being on the bottom of a boat for months and then got to get up in the hard labor. And then go through that hard labor to see if you can make it to the next plantation.
Yeah.
Man, I'm laughing at now because we think we got it so hard or bad today that I think we got to put some of this stuff in perspective, especially as we go through this class.
No AC was at the bottom of that ship either.
No, people were getting sick because it was so disgusting down there. Now, give me the cover of the Willie Lynch letter. Get ready to read, Roy. So, Roy and them showed this on the class earlier. We're going to touch on it a little bit. It's a little different from our books. Give me the number one. Or just give me the next one. I forget how I had them labeled. Oh, you got to see it. It's spelled different. Yeah, it's different.
Out of the Willie Lynch letter, the breaking process of the African woman. Then take the female run a series of tests on her to see if she will submit to your desires willingly. Test her in every way because she is the most important factor for good economics.
Oh, my goodness. Even today, what's the number one thing our women buy?
Hair. I don't know if you just saw the video. Was that something in our group chat? It was a couple $100 billion worldwide. Is what they just spend in synthetic hair, with China and India, I think, the top 2 countries selling it to us.
All you got to do is ride down the street, and when you run across one of those places where they sell hair, those Chinese places, it'll be packed. Parking lot's always packed. I don't care where it's at.
No hair store ever went out of business.
Yeah, not without fire or something like that. I just had a video. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna play it because it's about 30 minutes long. But it was a guy near Howard University, and he asked the women about her natural hair. He asked the brother first. He said, "Bruh," he had locks, and he was like, "Hey man, do you prefer our women natural, fro?" He said, "I prefer my women with a fro." The girl, he said, the next week got straight hair. So she jumped in the conversation. You already know where that was going now. Why do you hate black women? Yada, yada, and all of that stuff. When it was like, no,
That's the complete opposite, though. She's hating black women.
I should have sent you the video. I didn't know we were going to touch this, but literally would have went right into what we're talking about.
Remember the little pop the balloon jump? It was an episode where the guy, the girl, she had like straight hair, and he was like, yeah, I didn't like it. So then literally all you hear is pop, 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 pop. You know, she go down the road and ask him, why'd you pop your balloon? Because you're really sassy about her hair, because black woman's hair is so versatile. Maybe I don't want to wear my natural fur. I want to wear it long. I want to wear it this. I want to wear it that. So I don't like, you don't like black women. I'm like,
But you see, what he kept saying,
Right.
But if that's your husband and he like it a certain way, don't you want to please him?
Yeah, real quick. I ain't gonna try to pull on, but one more topic on it because this is something I'm gonna touch on in the series that I got going on too. But the brother had said, the woman was. He said, I ain't never walked into a store and complimented a woman on her eyelashes. And then the woman started being, well, see, what you don't understand is when you see a beautiful woman, these are the. He's like, no, am I wrong for saying what men feel like is attractive or not? But like it goes, like you said, it's the eye, that the woman's perspective, her feelings about it.
That stuff, no, men like natural women. Some of them may like all that stuff that's added on, but they want something in particular.
Mm-hmm.
They're not interested in that woman.
They're not interested in marriage.
Yeah, right. They're not interested in. They want a like on the movie Life, a temporary marriage license.
Oh yeah.
If y'all know what I mean. Going to the tonk.
Third sentence.
If she shows,
Yep.
yeah.
If she shows any sign of resistance and submitting completely to your will, do not hesitate to use the bullwhip on her to extract the last bit of female dog out of her.
Well, you can say it, man. They wrote it.
This is
what the white man said.
Oh,
This
how
how-
we live. I just didn't know how these things.
Oh, yeah.
Take care not to kill her, for in doing so, you spoil good economics.
Good economics.
When in complete submission, she will train her offspring in the early years to submit to labor when they become of age.
So he's teaching them how to train her to do their work for them. But use her now so she trains her offspring to be subservient to them, to the white man. And our people can't see it today.
it's just like they say about HBCUs. HBCUs, they don't train you to run a Fortune 500 company. They train you how to work for it.
Right,
like that.
right. Give us the next one.
Whereas Harvard, they teach you how to run the job.
Understanding is the best thing. Therefore, we shall go deeper into this area of the subject matter concerning what we have produced here in this breaking process of the female Negro. We have reversed the relationships. In her natural uncivilized state, she would have a strong dependency on the uncivilized Negro male, and she would have a limited protective tendency toward her independent male offspring and would raise the female offspring to be dependent like her. Nature had provided for this type of balance.
So in nature, that's how it's supposed to be. The man naturally is supposed to lead and she's supposed to follow, and she will teach her child, her female child, to be like her, to show honor and reverence to the man. These folks, they know what they're doing. They know what they have done. Now this is in slavery. It go all the way back there. Keep going.
We reversed nature by burning and pulling one civilized Negro apart and bullwhipping the other to the point of death, all in her presence. By her being left alone, unprotected, with the male image destroyed, the ordeal caused her to move from her psychological dependent state to a frozen independent state. In this frozen...
So in other words, when you disrespect a man or you make her man look weak and incapable of protecting her and the family, then she's gonna look somewhere else. She's gonna do something else. So, but go ahead, keep reading.
In this frozen psychological state of independence, she will raise her female and male offspring in reversed roles.
See that? Raise them in reverse role. That's what you have today. This is what you got today. Look at the damn projects. Full of women that's not raising the kids. And they make it so hard. They make it so hard. So many men have given up trying because the woman has made it so hard, man. We have been systematically destroyed. If this country really cared about its people, it would have stricter laws. Instead of pushing so hard for child support, they would be pushing to get the damn people back together. Keeping families together. Like a couple years, 2 or 3 years ago, I made a post on Facebook about Vladimir Putin. They talk all that trash about this man. This man, he was giving incentives to the people to get married and to have children. They will help you get a house.
It was other countries as well to do the same thing when you get married.
But here, they encourage you to be gay, to be LGBTQ, to be anything you want to be. That's mental illness.
And to let the kids make those decisions.
Right, that's too young. Now, like Carmelo Anthony. This what pissed me off this week. When Carmelo Anthony unalive, I gotta say unalive because we live. Austin, he was 17 years old. He's not an adult. He could not. He's not old enough to buy a gun, to buy cigarettes, do any of this other stuff. But he's old enough to be charged as an adult. Come on, man. What is wrong with these people?
Like, why do you have the 18-year-old and 20-year-old laws if you're just going to do what you want to do in court?
Yeah, what's 21? Aren't you an adult at 21, or is it 18?
It's 18. What I'm saying, that their two biggest numbers is 18 as an adult, 21 to buy alcohol and cigarettes.
So why can't you get it at 18? It don't make no damn sense.
But then you try the man as what you don't even deem as adult on paper. So it's
right. Right, and a kid can go and get puberty blockers at 12, 13, 14.
Younger than that when they start. That was your last Democratic presidents y'all black folk voted for.
And the teachers don't have to tell you.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah.
Let you take your kids out of school. They want to. Why are you taking them out of school? Why you taking them here? Man,
this is that place, man. This is that place. Where we at?
For fear of the young male's life, she will psychologically train him to be mentally weak, independent, but physically strong.
So, and we see this. So, you get, because like Carmelo Anthony is an anomaly. To be raised in a 2-parent home, parents had nice jobs, a home, you know what I mean? They got you see all these pictures and videos of them doing stuff as a family. He even saved some kid that was drowning in the pool. And then that's what makes it so egregious. For this one thing to happen in one moment, and they give this man 35 years. He's not even a damn man yet, still. But for the most part, our people are raised in single-family homes by the woman she's not, some of them do a good job, but it depends on the kid too.
I mean, but even if they do a good job, it's still short of what those children need.
Yeah.
Because most of the women, I mean, a lot of these women do a good job. I mean, we're living amongst our brothers and sisters that have gone through a childhood with one parent, but they're still missing what the man's supposed to provide in the household.
So, like what it's saying here, even if you do raise him up and he's not a troublemaker or any of this other stuff, like it says here,
mentally weak
and physically strong. And that makes for what? Good economics for the white man. Because he can work and he never going to be a problem.
Yes, sir, boss. Yes, sir, master. Yes, sir.
Spencer James of All American. physically strong, but that man.
Oh
yeah.
All right, let's go. Last paragraph. Then we got to get on to the next.
Because she has
got a
become
lot.
psychologically independent, she will train her female offsprings to be psychologically independent. What have you got? You got the Negro woman out front and the man behind and scared. This is a perfect situation for sound sleep and economics.
Y'all remember when we was at the monument and Ezra was up teaching? And the dude came over there with his wife. He had a Jewish wife, and they had a daughter. And he was saying that that women should be out front.
Oh, well, you see that in their communities now. That guy in New York exposed them earlier this year with the welfare. And what do you do for work?
Oh, but this was a Jake. No, this was a brother.
Well, I'm saying, but he had the Jewish wife.
Yeah, he had a Jewish wife. Well, he was arguing with Ezra about a woman that we should follow women. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I remember that video you was talking about.
And was it that one the one with the daughter that was in the rainbow community?
Yeah, and she was just giving him the finger, and they was saying all kinds of stuff, man. But he was for that. That's crazy. So this is what Willie Lynch taught right here on the James River in Virginia. This is what happened to our people in slavery. So when slavery ended now, when we got our emancipation and the Juneteenth, whatever that is all about, and we were free, what was the next step? Give me the 13th Amendment, bro. Right after slavery. And meanwhile, when they were doing the 13th Amendment, also in 1865 is when the Ku Klux Klan came to be.
What do you got that name as?
Probably 13th Amendment.
No, I don't got that. You got it as a video or something?
No, it's not a video. It's a screenshot. What you got?
Are you looking at? You might have to look at all the pictures, see what you got. It's a wiki definition of the 13th Amendment. Or I'll look it up.
Civil rights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jack Johnson, Springfield race riot.
I'm just read it off mine, Jack.
Thing 7. Apostle John. Say it again. You were for what? Civil rights.
13th Amendment.
Yeah, 13th Amendment.
I don't have none of that.
Yeah, go ahead and read it, Roy. I don't know why it's not on there.
Yeah, keep checking for that, Arya, so they can see it on the screen while I'm reading it. The 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution out of Wikipedia. 13th Amendment redirects. Oh, okay, that's the link. The 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution made slavery and involuntary servitude illegal, except as punishment for a crime.
Uh-oh.
The amendment was passed by the Senate on April 8th, 1864, by the House of Representatives on January 31st, 1865, and ratified by the required 27 of the then 36 states on December 6, 1865, and proclaimed on December 18th, 1865. It was the first of the 3 Reconstruction Amendments adopted following the American Civil War.
Right, so it was made law in 1865. It goes right along with us being emancipated from slavery, but then at the same time, November of 1865, you have the introduction of the Ku Klux Klan. All this stuff. Why? It's because of their hatred of us.
And it said it was slavery and involuntary servitude illegal unless a punishment for a crime. I'm pretty sure that started a lot of the unjust and unfair. Well, I'm sure it didn't start, but I'm sure this enabled that unfair punishment to continue for our people. Because now if you know you can charge them, you can put them right back out there in the field.
We're going to segue right into that. Your thought process is right. Jump down to where it says Texas was the last Confederate slave state.
If you guys are on Wiki or happen to be following along, halfway through the second paragraph. Texas was the last Confederate slave state where enforcement of the proclamation.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it would be the folder it would be in would be what's the sister name?
I got it pulled up right now.
You know,
On Wiki?
But you gotta.
Yeah,
No, it's already saved on the computer itself, and it's highlighted, but it's under Fannie Mae.
Yeah. And
So you know how to add stuff on there, right? Go to scene and then click plus image, and it's gonna take you to Fannie Lou, and you gotta find the 13th Amendment. So we're doing all of this to show you that this 4th of July has nothing to do with us. Independence Day has nothing to do with us. It's the white man getting his independence from the white man.
right.
Got nothing to do with us. We were slaves in 1776.
Probably should have opened up with remember that song? This is America.
Oh yeah. You got it up there yet?
yeah, I got it pulled up now.
It's not a whole lot, but I want them to see it.
All right, send it over now.
All of this stuff happened one after the other.
All right, there it is.
All right, we are in the underlined part of the second paragraph. Texas was the last Confederate slave state where enforcement of the proclamation was declared on June 19, 1865. In the slave-owning areas controlled by Union forces on January 1st, 1863, state action was used to abolish slavery. The exceptions were Kentucky and Delaware, where chattel slavery and indentured servitude were finally ended by the 13th Amendment in December 1865.
Until the 13th Amendment ended slavery except for if you get locked up. Go ahead.
In contrast to the other Reconstruction amendments, the 13th Amendment has rarely been cited in case law, but it has been used to strike down peonage and some race-based discrimination as badges and incidents of slavery. The 13th Amendment has also been invoked to empower Congress to make laws against modern forms of slavery, such as sex trafficking. It was the first amendment to directly govern private individuals instead of just the government.
Right. So the 13th Amendment was important. It helped end slavery for us, but you could still be a slave if you were convicted of a crime. So now give me a convict leasing video. Watch this, y'all.
1966 said that anyone who appeared unemployed or homeless could be arrested and forced to work for up to 3 months. If they ran away, they'd be recaptured, chained, and forced to work without pay for the rest of their term. The penalties for vagrancy were brutal. Fines of $25, $50, sometimes $100, amounts that poor black people had no way of paying. And when you couldn't pay the fine, the judge would sentence you to hard labor, and that's when the leasing system kicked in. Here's how it worked. State and county governments found themselves with a sudden problem in 1865 and 1866. Their prisons, if they still existed after the war, were overflowing with newly convicted black prisoners. Feeding them, housing them, guarding them, it all cost money. Money that southern states didn't have after losing the war. But then someone had an idea. What if, instead of the state paying to keep prisoners, private companies paid the state to rent them? The prisoners would work for the company. The company would house them, feed them, and guard them. The state would get cash, and the prisoners would get nothing. This was convict leasing. By the 1870s, it was operating across the South. Alabama, Arkansas.
The other night, this is what I was getting at. If on the movie, not The Green Mile, Shawshank Redemption, you see this on Shawshank Redemption. The warden was taking cutbacks. He was taking bribes. Yeah, he was taking bribes from companies because the companies was losing money by him doing the convict leasing and getting paid. So they was giving him kickbacks to not work. Well, I tell you, ain't nothing like there is nobody like them. He was getting kickbacks to not do the work. That movie, when you look at that movie, that's the whole crux of how Andy Dufresne got him. That's how he got all of that money. It came from them doing that stuff. They had the road crew going out and making them money. I don't know if he said in this video, but you have when we were in slavery, 99% of the prisons and jails was filled with white people. But when slavery was over, that jam switched until I think within 5 years it was 80-something% blacks.
Okay, white slaves.
Man, yeah. After that law,
Yeah.
go ahead with the video.
Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia. Every former Confederate state embraced it, and the numbers exploded. In Tennessee, black people made up 33% of the prison population in October 1865. By November 1867, they were 58%. In Georgia, the state began leasing convicts in 1868. Before the war, most prisoners had been white. Within 5 years, black prisoners outnumbered white prisoners by massive margins. The companies that leased convicts came from every major industry: coal mines, iron foundries, turpentine camps, lumber companies, railroad construction, brick factories, cotton plantations, sugar plantations, phosphate mines, and the terms were absurdly cheap. In Alabama, companies could lease a convict for as little as $9 a month. That's roughly $180 today, less than what you'd pay for a gym membership for a full-time laborer who couldn't quit, who couldn't strike, who couldn't demand better wages or safer conditions, and who, if they tried to escape, would be hunted down and beaten. The work was backbreaking. In coal mines, convicts descended into shafts hundreds of feet below ground. The air was thick with coal dust. The ceilings were low. Cave-ins were common. In Alabama's Pratt Coal and Iron Company mines, convicts worked from 3 in the morning until 8 at night. 17 hours a day, 6 days a week. They hacked at coal seams with pickaxes in near total darkness, lit only by dim oil lamps. They hauled heavy carts full of coal through narrow tunnels. They breathed in toxic gas, methane, carbon monoxide. Black lung disease was rampant, and the companies didn't care because if a convict died, the state would just send another one.
Yeah, this is what it was like. This, like you said, the song you pulled up, This Is America. And Donald Trump talking about make America great again.
This what he mean.
Yeah.
This is what he mean. He mean the late 1800s.
So after going through that process of getting buck broke, and then your women getting beat and dehumanized in front of your woman, and your woman now reversing the roles, how she gonna raise your son and your daughter, going through that in slavery, amongst a plethora of other things that you had to go through in slavery. Then once it's over, now when you step off that plantation, now you can go right back into slavery through servitude of being a prisoner. And how did they look at you?
As a factory equipment.
Yeah, not as a human being.
This factory equipment break down, bring another one in.
So remember, we were 3/5 human.
Still to this day, for all y'all thinking everything equal today, that's still in your Constitution.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna go on a tangent, but look up the Black Laws Dictionary of what a civilian is, and see if you even naturally or a natural citizen here.
So next, we're gonna look at this video that this intelligent brother, he's speaking with this white man. This has to be either the 50s or the 60s, right at the beginning of the civil rights movement or somewhere during it, right? I want y'all to pay close attention to what this southern white man says. Or how you know how they say white. Southern white man. Give me the human beings video.
Slavery just had to be in those early days.
Mr. Hasty, what was life like in those early days?
As far as the colored people were concerned, I feel that they were a good bit happier than they are now. They had less in the way of material things. But I can remember back in the 20s when I was a small boy, they were always singing at their work. They had a great sense of humor. And now today, they just don't seem to care much about that as they used to. And I think they've lost their sense of somewhat, which I deplore.
What do you think are the differences between the races?
I think there's a refusal to accept responsibility. I think there's a lack of motivation. I've tried here to promote people to foremen, superintendents, but they just refuse to do it. They just don't want the responsibility. They don't worry like the white man. If they have troubles, they go to sleep and wake up the next morning, and that trouble is over.
Is it possible that white people have something to do with the lack of ability for blacks to assimilate into this culture?
Absolutely. The white man has certainly been prejudiced and to quite an extent unfair. But customs die awful hard. It takes a long time, and everyone knew years ago that the Negro would have to be given equality. But in the South, knowing Negroes as we think we do, we realize it would take time. It's been compared to straightening teeth. It takes a slow, steady pressure. You can't do it with a hammer. And white people's attitudes will change in time. I'm a lot more liberal than I was 5 years ago, and I know I'll be a lot more liberal 5 years from now, and I think almost everyone else is in that category.
What has tended to make you more liberal?
Well, realization that the Negro is a human being like anyone else.
Mr. Hasty, what did you think we were before you began to think?
Said he had to realize that the Negro was a human being like everyone else. So they didn't look at us like we were human beings. And you know what? I guarantee you that's how they look at the other nations too.
Heck yeah. That's why if you go to the other countries, especially when most of the other countries are predominantly one nation of people, they don't care for the Western side of thinking, which is mainly ran by the white man.
Mm-hmm.
They do not care for that way of thinking, the entitlement, any of that stuff when they come over there. You can see it on a grander scale with the wars is going on.
Right. Right.
But just even people on vacation or something, they don't like the regular so-called Western American European.
I saw a video of, I don't know what the news agency was, but they were talking about how many Muslims there are in this country and how they're taking over and how they've taken over Europe. And they're just talking all kinds of trash. Meanwhile, they're not going to tell you the part that they played in that they bombed the living hell out of all of these countries where these people come from. That's how they got to be refugees and came to Europe and to the United States, because you bombing the living hell out of them. What are they supposed to do? That's why the Lord said he take them in their own devices.
And then just quickly, like, we seen what's been going on in the last 2.5, 3 years with Gaza. Do they look at them people like humans?
No.
Like women, children, aid, media, people that ain't picked up a gun or a sword to fight is getting unjustly killed.
Even when you look at the movie Predator, you good unless you pick up a weapon. But not when you're dealing with the white man,
Oh, you saw that in your show, in your movie.
Mm-hmm.
What's the guy you like on Incredibles? Remember when the machine turned on him and saw his weapon?
That was Syndrome.
Syndrome. Remember the little ball had the sensors?
Yeah,
Turned on him.
Yeah, the machine realized he could control it. The machine turned on. Man. Go ahead, play the video.
Think of us as human beings.
Well, in a way, we thought of you almost as a very superior pet. Something, or rather someone, we had to take care of, because we had to do so much of their thinking for them. We had to do almost everything for them, except living their own lives. Anything outside, we had to do for them.
If masters did the thinking for slaves, it is not recorded who did the thinking for masters. Most Southerners didn't even own slaves, but they became victims of the glamour surrounding big plantations. Today, there is talk of equality in the future, but it is the romance of the unequal past that still infatuates and torments much of Charleston. For blacks, that past is a little thin on romance. It is true that in a home like this one, Scarlett O'Hara might have lived. And a home like this might have contained an overseer like Simon Legree. But it is an absolute certainty that if I had been around in those days, I would have lived right here. And that, for an increasing number of black Americans today, is what American history is all about.
And he
No, go ahead, bro.
Now what it's saying, that looks like, cause we got the same stuff here in Virginia. You can go and visit some of these old things or some of the stuff that's been preserved. That brick house look better than some of the most of the ones I've seen.
Right.
And not saying it's by good by any means, but man.
Man, that's probably, that second one could have been the servants' quarters, even though they might have had one inside. But definitely the small one, the little hut,
With no
that's the
windows
slave
or door.
quarters. That's slave quarters. Give me what is it? Class picture number 2. So that's just a little brief history of some of the things that we went through, because we've been through so much, man. So much dealing with these people.
Well, that barely scratched the surface.
Mm-hmm.
That barely scratched the surface.
So now we're going to go into this sister here, Sister Fannie Lou Hamer. You can take that picture down. Give us Fannie Lou Hamer number 1. This was a good, strong sister. Didn't have the knowledge that we have today, but she was a good sister.
Fannie Lou Hamer. Just the underline or everything?
Just the underline right here.
All right, second paragraph. Hamer began her civil rights activism in 1962, continuing it until her health declined 9 years later. She was known for her use of spiritual hymns and biblical quotes, and for her resilience in leading the civil rights movement for black women in Mississippi. She was threatened, harassed, shot at, and assaulted by racists, including members of the police, while she was trying to register to vote. She later helped and encouraged thousands of black people in Mississippi to become registered voters and assisted hundreds of disenfranchised people in her area through her work and programs. Yeah, you got me a little early there, cuz.
Oh, go back. You still got some more. I think you was at Freedom Farm Cooperative.
I'm waiting for it to pop up on my screen. Got a slight delay on my computer, y'all. Middle of the second paragraph. In Mississippi to become registered voters and assisted hundreds of disenfranchised people in her area through her work and programs such as the Freedom Farm Cooperative. She ran for the U.S. House in 1964, losing to Jamie Whitten, and she ran for the Mississippi State Senate in 1971. In 1970, she led legal action against the government of Sunflower County, Mississippi, for continued illegal segregation.
Right, right. So I want to point out here, she was threatened, harassed, shot at, and assaulted by racists, including members of the police. Ain't nothing changed. Nothing has changed. What's that dude, Phil? And other people call him, he called them racist soldiers. I think that's the term he used for the cops. I mean, if you because you look at the Klan was an underground organization after a while. At first, they were just outright. You knew they were senators and congressmen and all that stuff. They just threw a cape on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You can pull that other one back up. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
All right. Early life, family, and education. Hamer was born as Fannie Lou Townsend on October 6, 1917 in Montgomery County, Mississippi.
Yeah, she was like the age of my great-granddad.
She was the last of the 20 children.
No, my grandfather, not great-grandfather. I'm old, y'all. Go ahead.
I guess that's more like my great-grandparent. Of Luella and James Lee Townsend.
You see that? 20 children. The last of 20 children. Go ahead.
That means her mom and daddy stayed together through 19 of them. 20.
Yeah, and was competing against Brother Jose.
He still got time. In 1919, the Townsends moved to Ruleville, Mississippi to work as sharecroppers on W.D. Marlowe's plantation.
Right, sharecroppers. Just like my...
And they were making way less money.
You don't make no money. You go in debt being a sharecropper.
Oh,
My grandfather was a sharecropper, and he worked a job too. So my uncles, they had to take care of the farm while he worked a job.
I was commenting on his part, what we were talking about earlier. They weren't making no money then.
Go ahead.
From age 6, Hamer picked cotton with
They
her
were
family.
still together though. Yeah.
And 20 kids.
During the winters of 1924 through 1930, she attended the one-room school provided for the sharecroppers' children, open between picking seasons. Hamer loved reading and excelled in spelling bees and reciting poetry. But at age 12, she had to leave school to help support her aging parents.
Well, most of our people had to.
My great-grandmother. By age 13, she would pick 200 to 300 pounds, 90 to 100 kilograms of cotton daily while living with polio.
Daily.
Age 13.
With polio. Yeah. Go ahead.
Hamer continued to develop her reading and interpretation skills in Bible study at her church. In later years, Lawrence Gouault admired her ability to connect the biblical exhortations for liberation and the struggle for civil rights anytime she wanted to, and then move in and out to any frames of reference.
That means she could connect what they were going through with the things written in the scriptures because it's written about us. us.
They're kings with feathers of iron.
Yeah.
In 1944, after the plantation owner discovered her literacy.
Now, hold on, Roy. Hold on. Since you made that connection, let's go there. Psalm 150. Or is that 149?
It's 149. I think 150 is make a joyful noise unto the Lord. I could be wrong.
$149.
Yep.
Yeah.
The book of Psalms, chapter 149. Praise ye the Lord. Sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise in the congregation of saints.
It's where we get our name from, the congregation of saints. Go ahead.
Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp. For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of God be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord.
Man, as you're reading that, I was thinking about Nat Turner.
Man, that movie,
Yeah,
man.
Nat Turner.
Hey, that thing, man. He read that so powerful. I think he might have woke up in that scene.
Man, all praises for this though. After going through what our forefathers went through.
But just showing this is at the end of slavery, and how powerful it was for our people to be literate. This is why they kept us in the darkness for 300 years, 250 years. That was our 250 years from 1619 to 1865. Y'all want to talk about 250 years?
We're gonna have to do a part 2 on this because so that new book I got, we're not gonna touch that, and then I got 5,000 examples of our people being lynched. And they still doing it to this day. But somehow we are the problem. We don't go and get in hotel windows and shoot 500 people. We don't do that.
Grocery stores, churches, schools.
Yeah. Yeah, the most dangerous place the most dangerous place for a person is in a school. We don't do that type of stuff. But yet and still, every time we do something, it'd be the worst of our people doing the stupidest stuff you can imagine. And then in the comment section, it's the usual suspects.
The fatigue. You're right. We are tired.
That's for sure.
But the one of the main things, and I don't think people understood how deep it was, because they looked at it as LeBron James as an athlete. But when that lady on Fox News or wherever she was at said, just shut up and dribble, that's when you at your safest. Just do what they ask you to do. Be good economics.
Yep.
Be mentally weak and be good economically.
Physically strong.
And physically strong. Like that's why we say all the time, the NBA players, the musicians, those aren't our superheroes, man. Those aren't our role models. Mm-mm. Now, can they have some positive influence? Sure, any of us can. They just get highly exalted because of the money they make. But as long as you can be a billionaire, LeBron, but as long as you just play the game, you'll be okay. You can be rich or poor, but just shut up and dribble.
Yeah, their role models are totally different. Their role models are not musicians.
You got Psalms 159
and athletes. They're gonna get somebody confused.
I just saw that.
Go back to the picture. You know, reading through this, some people might take it lightly, but it's heavy reading this stuff for the first time. You know?
We are at the third paragraph. No, excuse me. Yes. Right.
Second. Hamer continued.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm starting from the top. Hamer continued to develop her reading and interpretation skills in Bible study at her church. In later years, Lawrence Goyot admired her ability to connect the biblical exhortations for liberation and the struggle for civil rights anytime that she wanted to, and move in and out to any frames of reference. In 1944, after the plantation owner discovered her literacy, she was selected as its time and record keeper. The following year, she married Perry Pap Hamer, a tractor driver on the Marlowe plantation, and they remained there for the next 18 years. Hamer and her husband wanted very much to start a family, but in 1961, a doctor subjected Hamer to a hysterectomy without her consent while she was undergoing surgery to remove a uterine tumor.
Hold on. Y'all see that? She went to get a tumor removed off of her uterine. They gave her a hysterectomy. And she wasn't the only one. Go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other topic. Forced sterilization was a common method of population control in Mississippi that targeted poor African-American women. Members of the black community called the procedure a Mississippi appendectomy.
So that's how often it was done. You know who else was doing something like this? You had the Israelis doing the, what do you call them? They got the Book of Enoch. Ethiopian Jews. They was sterilizing them. They let them in the country, but they would sterilize them so they couldn't have children.
And then the whole syphilis experiment saying it was free healthcare.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, I don't understand how, like, this is not that long ago, y'all. This is literally over 100 years ago. Like, this is only a couple generations ago that all of this was going on. And I got a brother on my wall today talking about, maybe if we just all celebrate together, it could be a lot better. Celebrate what together? My ignorance? Because I can't celebrate having any understanding or knowledge of our history.
Even the young grandmothers of my generation lived through this.
But the women's minds are a little different than the men's, right?
I'm just saying, like,
No, my point is, I agree with you, but then it's still like we're still conditioned to say, hey, I went to the store yesterday preparing for the Sabbath. I keep forgetting when it's the holiday seasons, man. Pulled into Costco, I was like, I forgot. It's 4th of July weekend. Just a madhouse. Everybody in there. I ain't even gonna make that joke.
Packed. Where we at?
He put up the next picture. I read through the red on that one. I didn't finish it, though.
All right.
I know it's a slight delay, but just in case there's something he want to touch on that screen, let it sit.
Yeah. It was something other. Well, we're okay. No, we're okay. Because we got plenty of stuff to go. We got plenty of stuff to hit.
You want the from the beginning or just the red?
Probably
everything.
Just the red. Oh yeah, start with a quote. That quote she made.
All right. Starting with the quote: "We've been waiting all our lives and still getting killed, still getting hung, still getting beat to death. Now we're tired waiting." Fannie Lou Hamer.
Even to this day. And when was this? This was the 60s. So you're looking at
this was the paragraph above
60
says early
years ago.
Yeah, early 1963.
Yeah, this is 60 years ago. It's still the same damn thing. And our people just heavily into politics. Remember, I shared a video of a brother talking about the white man needs to go back to being racist like they was to prove a point to us. Like, what alt universe is this Negro living in?
To prove a point of what? Segregation was better? Relying on your people was better than them?
It damn sure was.
I mean, now our resources might have been limited, but the community was stronger.
That's when we really fell off the cliff. When we integrated. And I was looking at this too. Maybe I'll go into it because I've seen this in my lifetime. In my lifetime, they started busing to school. We used to go to the school that was close to us in our neighborhood. They started that busing stuff to integrate people together, blacks and whites together. That is when I swear to God, That's when we went down. All of this stuff came together, and we have gone nothing but down ever since all of it started. We started learning the heathens' ways.
And that's what I asked the dude on my comment wall. Why would I want to forget my culture before 1619? How has our culture being assimilated here in America done anything good for us? I'm supposed to just ignore that and put on a red, white, and blue hat today and grill out.
And this isn't our culture. This is cracker redneck culture. That's exactly what it is. Cracker redneck culture. And somehow it's become our culture.
And look up the word cracker and its etymology in history. That's not just a racist slur. It's actually a group of people. So check that out. That's not a racial slur. I know. I just don't want people thinking we just being all ignorant and throwing racial slur.
Right.
It's an actual group of people. It's not just a slang term we throwing out there.
The same people, let me tell you who the crackers are. They're the people that was looked down upon in Ireland, England, over in them islands over there. They was the lowly people, and they were called crackers. They brought that culture over here. They were our what do you call it? The slave masters, not the plantation master or owner, but they were over us on the plantations. That's where we learned this stupid freaking culture. Nobody in Africa behaved like this. You could not. We learned that from them. Matter of fact, we did a whole 2-part series on it about cracker culture. We learned that culture. We were reading earlier that Fannie Lou, that they shot at her. They did a damn drive-by on her house. When we think drive-by, we think about L.A. Oh, they did this in the 60s. The white man did it. I digress. Where we at?
We are now at white racist attacks. After she attempted to vote, Hamer was fired by her boss, but her husband was required to stay on the land until the end of the harvest. Hamer moved between homes over the next several days for protection. On September 10th, 1962, while staying with friend Mary Tucker, Hamer was shot at 15 times in a drive-by shooting by racists. No one was injured in the event. The next day, Hamer and her family evacuated to nearby Tallahatchie County for 3 months, fearing retaliation by the Ku Klux Klan because she had attempted to vote.
Because she had attempted to vote. Hiding from the Ku Klux Klan. But guess what? Israelites are hate groups. We're classified as hate groups.
And then now you ain't black if you don't vote Democrat. But this is what was going on 60 years ago for our people. If it was happening to her and she was fearing fear for her life for months after trying to vote. The votes have been counted already and she in fear for her life.
And still didn't stop her.
Right. But my point is, and this is the system that we think is built for us. I guess if I had any sense, I'd have been a little scared. But what was the point of being scared? The only thing they could do was kill me. And it kind of seemed like they'd been trying to do that a little bit at a time since I could remember.
Damn.
Fannie Lou Hamer.
Man, it's a powerful sister. Lord's will, man. We make the kingdom and see her in that.
Lord's will.
Next one. Let me just do the highlighted stuff in the next section.
All of this is on account we want to register to become first-class citizens. And if the Freedom Democratic Party is not seated now, I question America.
So you get that? All of this was on account to register to become first-class citizens. To be equal, to be treated as equal citizens. You got to fight with these people just for them to recognize you as a human being. Damn.
Is this America, the land of the free and the home of the brave, where we have to sleep with our telephones off the hooks because our lives are threatened daily, because we want to live as decent human beings in America? Fannie Lou Hamer.
Damn. So she had to sleep with the phone off the hook because they were constantly calling, threatening her life. You know she wasn't the only one. But these are the same people you want to stand beside and celebrate the 4th of July with. Are you kidding me? These are the same people that say, you know, they get to go to heaven too.
Right next to us.
Right.
They got the same inheritance.
You know what they say in Christianity? The devil is a lie.
And you remember, and I know a lot of us probably seen the movie Remember the Titans. That was set in 1971, and just because he was the head coach of an integrated football team, he was receiving threats, burning crosses, stuff thrown through the house, his family in fear for a sport. Like it was registering to vote, trying to vote, coaching a sport for an integration school. The black man ain't had no power integrating no school, but somehow his life is the one that's in danger. Like, my dad was born in the 60s. This is not that long ago, y'all.
No, I was born in the 60s.
Which century?
1960s.
Nah, but it's I'm not even trying to make light of it, but it really, like, man, it's something to take.
So, yeah, I saw glimpses of it. You know, I saw glimpses of it. And my uncles used to warn me all the time, but I didn't understand what was going on. I was a little kid. And then my parents did a good job of sheltering me from stuff, too. Mm-hmm. They did a good job. All right. Next one, Aria. I don't even know what number we at. What number is it?
In 1964, Hamer received an honorary degree from Tugela College, much to the dismay of a group of black intellectuals who thought she was undeserving of such an honor because she was unlettered.
Coons. Freaking coons. Your bourgeoisie. Black intellectuals. Go ahead.
On the other hand, Hamer had staunch supporters, including Ella Baker, Bob Moses, Charles McLaren, and Malcolm X, who believed in her story and in her ability to communicate effectively.
Hold on. I wonder why Martin Luther King ain't in there. But y'all should know something. Martin Luther King is not one of us. Martin Luther King is a white man. Y'all ain't know that?
Recently. This year.
Yeah, you can look it up. His granddad was Albert King, a white man. It was either his granddad or his great-granddad. A white man, Albert King. Go ahead.
These supporters and others like them believe that despite Hamer's illiteracy, people who have struggled to support themselves in large family, people who survived in Jordan, Alabama, and Mississippi, have learned some things we need to know. Mm-hmm. She was known to evoke strong emotions in her listeners, and indicative of her telling it like it is, oratorical style.
Right. That's what we need. We need people to evoke the strong emotions in us. She was a leader. She'll be good as leader of women. But, you know.
But coming out of a time where we got mentally weak men.
Yeah.
And this is where part of the disorder comes at, where women take this part of their strongness or their emotions and they try to use it against us today.
One of the strongest men ever, though, Malcolm X.
Definitely.
That brother was real strong. We're going to hit him at the end of the class. Some of the stuff he said is unbelievable.
I'm praise for his sister. It's sad that she had to be the one to do this.
But it's by design. That's why I said with that. Like, we just read in the Willie Lynch letter how it was designed. This is right. This is not this is less than 100 years, but about, 60 years after the last free slave she was born. So this was a generation of coming out of that mindset. You got to think her father probably was brainwashed to some extent on what he was as a male.
So her parents, her dad was a pastor. But her, so they had to come out of slavery. So like my granddaddy, his parents came out of slavery. They were born towards the end of slavery. So by the time he was born, they would be around 30 or so when he was born. Yeah, so this is like one generation removed from slavery. And then when she's older when you get to the 60s when she was in her prime.
Hamer's style of speaking and conducting the audience can be traced back to her upbringing and the Black Baptist Church to which her family belonged, which many see as a source of her ability to sway audiences with words. Woven into her speeches was a deep level of confidence, biblical knowledge, and even comedy in a way that many did not think possible for someone without a formal education or access to institutionalized power.
That's crazy how they think you got to be learned. But what does Scripture say about that?
Keep the commandments.
Well, now, what does Scripture say about somebody that's learned? Let's hit it real quick because we haven't hit many scriptures. 1 Corinthians 1:23. They worrying about her, how she was trained. No, start at 25.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 25. Because the foolishness of God is wiser than men, and the weakness of God is stronger than men. For ye see your calling, brethren, how that many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble, are called.
Right. You don't see the people that are leaders in this world, they're not called to lead the chosen people, lead the children of Israel. Go ahead.
But God have chosen the foolish things of this world to confound the wise.
And they looked at her like she wasn't worthy. She was foolish. She was uneducated.
And
but people followed her, man. She was a powerful speaker. Go ahead.
And God have chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. Excuse me. And base things of the world, and things which are despised, hath God chosen. Yeah, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are.
The things that are. So the powers that be going to be destroyed by people that are despised and looked down upon. Back to the Wikipedia.
What's it look like?
The disconnect on Facebook Live for like a second.
Yeah, I saw it.
Get reconnected just now.
You got the wiki? The one we just were on.
Hamer's mother. That's where you're going to be picking up at.
Third paragraph. Hamer's mother instilled a sense of pride in being black when Hamer did not perceive that being black was a benefit during her childhood. Hamer had seen her mother walk around with a concealed pistol in an attempt to protect her children from white land owners who were known to beat sharecroppers' children. Hamer's father was a Baptist preacher who often entertained the family with jokes at the end of the day. Although Hamer made it only to 6th grade because she had to help the family work the fields, she excelled at reading, spelling, and poetry, and even won spelling bees. Her family encouraged her to recite her poetry to the family and their guests. Hamer became a plantation timekeeper, a position that made her the point person who had to communicate with both the white landowners and black sharecroppers, which helped her practice communicating to different kinds of people. After she got involved in the civil rights movement in the early 1960s, Hamer's oratorical skills quickly became apparent. Leading activists were amazed at how she did not write her speeches, but delivered them from memory.
She didn't write them. She delivered them from memory.
That's when
she spoke from the heart, bro.
Yeah, I agree. See, that's when you know you really believe what you're talking about.
Take no thought.
Mm-hmm.
What's this one? Oh, I guess there's one more.
Second paragraph. One of Hamer's most
it's more than one. It's more than one.
One of Hamer's most famous speeches was at Williams Institutional Church in Harlem on December 20th, 1964. She appeared along with Malcolm X. In her speech, Sick and Tired of Being Sick and Tired, she chronicled the violence and injustices she experienced while trying to register to vote. While highlighting the various acts of brutality she witnessed in the South, she was careful to tie in the fact that blacks in the North and all over the country were suffering the same
The
oppression.
same oppression.
The audience was 1/3 white and gave Hamer a warm reception.
One thing that I think that was a mistake she made. She tried to build with Esau at the same time. And we got to do this on our own.
Got no parts of this.
Next one, Freedom Farm Cooperative.
Freedom Farm Cooperative and later activism. In 1964, Hamer continued to work on other projects, including grassroots level Head Start programs and Martin Luther King Jr.'s Poor People Campaign. With the assistance of Julius Lester and Mary Varela, she published her autobiography in 1967. She says she was tired of all this beating, and there's so much hate. Only God has kept the Negro sane.
Damn.
Never lied. Hamer fought for equality across all aspects of society. In her view, African Americans were not free if they were not afforded the same opportunities as whites, including those in agricultural industry. Sharecropping was the most common form of post-slavery activity and the main source of income in the South. The New Deal era expanded, and as a result, many blacks were physically and economically displaced due to the various projects initiated around the country. Hamer believed that blacks should not be dependent on any group, so she wanted to give them a voice through an agricultural movement.
It's the same thing that Martin Luther King was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Even Muhammad Ali. Let us do for ourselves. But when you would try to do for yourself, they would intervene and destroy whatever we were building. Go ahead.
Hamer adamantly opposed abortion, calling it legalized murder in a 1969 speech at the White House and describing her position in terms of her Christian faith. And Until I Am Free, historian Keisha N. Blaine writes, Hamer viewed birth control and abortion as social justice issues. She feared that both were simply white supremacist tools to regulate the lives of impoverished black people and even prevent the growth of the black population.
Read that part again, starting with until.
In Until I Am Free, historian Keisha N. Blaine writes, Hamer viewed birth control and abortion as social justice issues.
Now remember, she came from what?
20-parent home, 20
They had
children.
20 kids.
And she had the experience of getting the wrong procedure done on her.
Mm-hmm.
She feared that both were simply white supremacist tools to regulate the lives of impoverished black people and even prevent the growth of the black population.
She was on to something. She was smart. That's why we have Planned Parenthood now.
These people are getting mighty in number. We ought to deal wisely with them.
Yes. Let's hit that. Exodus 2.
Like, our people really got to go back and like read our history and see how this stuff is still going on today. And we not crazy when we speak out against it today. When we say something on social media now, it's so voodoo. Oh, here we go again. He ain't called it yet.
Exodus 1.
10, yeah.
No, 9. Start at 9.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 9. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. And it come to pass that, when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
So that's why they doing all this Planned Parenthood and all this kind of stuff.
Same spirit.
Yeah, trying to
Spiritual
stop a
Egypt.
black messiah, like one of the presidents said. They're trying to stop a black messiah.
Oh yeah, that was yeah.
I think it was Lyndon B.
Was that the same time as the Black Panther Party? Is that
You
why-
know
is
what?
that why they
All
named
of
the
this
movie
is all of this stuff is the same time.
that?
So
Judas
it's
and the
probably
Black
him.
Messiah?
Because whoever he was is mentioned. Matter of fact. There it is.
And
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Yep, 63 to 69.
Yeah.
And then Nixon after that, then Ford.
Yeah, but here it is.
But you see, Kennedy was cut a little short.
Yeah, we read over it. It was right there, Lyndon B. Johnson. Yeah, Kennedy was cut short. By Israel. Where we at?
He championed civil rights in the space race, but was assassinated in office. Dang. We are still. We just finished reading Exodus 1 through 12. I mean, excuse me, it's Exodus 1, 9 through 12. No,
So I guess where we at? James Eastland.
Back to the last wiki you had up.
Yeah, it's Hamer 7, I believe. All down the bottom, James Eastland.
All right. Last paragraph. James Eastland, a white senator, was one of the people who sought to keep African Americans disenfranchised and segregated from society. His influence on the overarching agricultural industry often suppressed minority groups to keep whites as the only power force in America.
Make America great again. That's what Trump talking about.
Biden was in office not too far after this, wasn't he? Hamer objected to this, and consequently, she pioneered the Freedom Farm Cooperative in 1969, an attempt to redistribute economic power across groups and solidify an economic standing among African Americans. In the same vein as the Freedom Farm Collective, Hamer partnered with the National Council of Negro Women to establish an interracial and interregional support program called the Pig Project to provide protein for people who previously could not afford meat.
Yeah, that's where she went the hell off right there. I don't need no pork.
But it was probably the cheapest food to try to get out to the people.
Yeah.
The intent was probably well, but not according to knowledge.
So that's our sister, Fannie Lou Hamer. And, you know, there's a lot more to it. Hold on. Matter of fact, I don't have it. You know what? Now that we're done with her, it's time for the video. So after all the stuff that we read, there was this incident. We're going to play this incident that she went through. And this is her speaking in this video, y'all. But listen to what they did to her, what the police did to her and others. You got it, Aria?
I saw the people rush out, and I stepped off to see what had happened. And Miss Ponder told me that it was a state highway patrolman and a chief of police on the inside, and began to tap them on the shoulders with billy clubs and ordered them to get out. And I said, well, this is Mississippi. I saw them when they began to put the 5 people, what was, off the bus, began to put them in the highway patrolman's car. And she said, get back on the bus, Miss Hamer. And then I heard somebody scream from the car that she was in and said, get that one there. And then a white man stepped out of a car and told me I was under arrest. And when he opened the door and I went to get in the car, he kicked me. And they carried me on down to the county jail. Then when I walked in with the 2 white men that had carried me down, and they cursed me all the way down, they would ask me questions, and when I would try to answer, they would tell me to hush. And I was put in a cell with Miss Yvesta Simpson. And after I was put in this cell, I could just hear some horrible screams, and I would hear somebody when they say, can't you say yes, sir, nigger? Can't you say yes, sir? And they would call her names that I wouldn't want to go on tape. And she said, yes, I can say yes, sir. So I said. And she said, I don't know you well enough. And I would hear when she would hit the floor again. And finally she began to pray. And she asked God to have mercy on these people because they didn't know what they was doing. And after a while they passed my cell door with this young woman, Miss Annelle Ponder. And one of her eyes looked like blood, and her hair was standing up on her head, and her clothes had been torn. And then 3 white men came to my cell, and one of them was a state highway patrolman, and he asked me where I was from, and I told him I was from Rouville, and I guess he called Rouville. And they didn't like me in Rouville because I worked with voter registration there. And when he came back, he said, you damn right. They said, you're from Rouville, all right. and we gonna make you wish you was dead. And they led me out of that cell into another cell, and he gave a Negro prisoner a blackjack, and he ordered me to lay down on a bunk bed. And a Negro prisoner said, "Do you want me to beat her with this, sir?" And he said, "You're damn right, because if you don't, you know what I'll do for you." And I laid down on the bunk like he ordered me to do. And the first Negro beat me. He beat me until he was exhausted. And after he beat, the state highway patrolman ordered the second Negro to take the blackjack. And during the time he was beating, I began to work my feet because that was a horrible experience. And the state highway patrolman ordered the first Negro that had beat to sit on my feet while the second one beat. And I just began to scream where I couldn't control it. And then the white man got up and began to beat me in my head. I have a blood clot now in the artery to the left eye and a permanent kidney injury on the right side from that beating.
Any thoughts?
John 3:16, right?
It just make you want to, like, at the end of the day, this is why we do what we do, man. For our liberation through Christ, man. But it's also a realization on how we got to this point, too. And it should be eye-opening for the direction we move forward with for ourselves and our people.
This wasn't that long, like you say. This wasn't that long ago.
It's during my lifetime.
Telling us to forget about it.
But I mean, this is the same stories that's going on today. Whether it's a traffic stop, whether it's your kid, but now it's just they don't want you to be able to tell the stories no more. So you might not even get a point where she can explain what happened to her and describe it. These people don't even get to describe what happened to her no more. Sandra Bland don't even know what happened to her when she got arrested in the jail. You in custody and die. Castile, you said, "Hey, I have a weapon. It's right here." It's still following the law. You don't get to tell. Like, it's just, man.
And she's probably one of the ones that lives through that beating.
She did. She just told you the story.
But I'm saying is she's probably one of the only ones.
Oh, well, you see in the Willie Lynch letter, it's beat him until almost death.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I'm saying, but it's design. It's a design. It's a design.
Yeah, that's why I was shaking my head when she said that the other sister said, "Lord, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing." No, them damn devils know exactly what they're doing.
I mean,
exactly.
I feel you on that aspect, but I also thought about it. She could have just been in the spirit because maybe they don't realize, like, y'all are over here beating God's people up. Maybe they don't look at it like that. They knew they was doing evil, yeah. But did they know at the time, in the moment, like, that you out here destroying God's people? Maybe that's what she meant in that prayer spiritually. Lord, they don't know what they do. But.
Yeah, but that spirit, y'all know. Y'all know Genesis 27. It come from their daddy.
Yeah.
And I get it. They say, beat them within an inch of their life, but.
No, I'm saying, yeah. I'm sure it's plenty to die with it, but it's also by design to do it right on the brink like that.
Yeah.
Because what charges that jail gonna get now? She gonna serve her time and then she gonna get released. They kill her, then they got to deal with that.
Then they'll just make up something.
Yeah.
I mean, back then they was shooting people on the lawn of the damn courthouse and getting away with it. They weren't even getting charged, man. There's just too much stuff to even bring it up. This is so much that they've done.
Was it something we were just reading in our chat? I just been so much, man. Where I think a certain farmer had killed somebody. They had a warrant for the arrest, but the warrant never got served. Like, that's the kind of stuff they was doing during these times, man.
Leviticus 26.
That's what it was. I was reading. I opened my book up. I forget what it's called, but the stories of the slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Where that book I told you got from Williamsburg. It's like 4 different books in it.
Yeah.
I just happened to open it up and read it. That was one of the accounts the slaves was talking about. That's where I got that. That's where I just read that from.
It's a lot.
What'd you call?
Leviticus 26 and start at 14.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26 and verse 14. But if you will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments, And if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant, I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror.
Terror. What they're going through is terror. But you got these devils going around the world calling every damn body else terrorists. And what's the definition of terrorism? Terrorism is when you do these specific acts to get a political result. And what was this behind? Voting. It's literally the definition of freaking terrorism. Look it up, Roy, please.
And it makes you wonder, why are we still having voting issues in this day and age? It's still a hot topic. It's still an issue, or what they say, discriminatory towards black people voting, changing requirements. Mm-hmm. It's still the same. It's just a different branch in today's modern technology or verbiage. It's still the same thing going on. Terrorism from Google. The unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians in the pursuit of political aims.
Exactly what it is. They're the biggest damn terrorists. That's domestic terrorism.
The Britannica. Terrorism. The calculated use of violence to create a general climate of fear in a population and thereby to bring about a particular political objective. Terrorism has been practiced by political organizations with both rightist and leftist objectives, by nationalistic and religious groups, by revolutionaries, and even by state institutions such as armies, intelligence service, and police.
And they guilty of it all, bro. But they call every damn body else the
Britannica.
They fit the definition perfectly.
And it even calls them out. All the political parties, intelligence services, and police. And you talking about intelligence services, that's directly related to all the social media propaganda and what goes on and approved and not approved.
Yep. Leviticus 26, where was we at?
In the middle of verse 16. Consumption and the burning egg that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart, and ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemy shall eat it.
All right, go ahead.
And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies.
This happened in slavery and afterwards. Go ahead.
They that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when none pursueth you.
That's good. All this stuff we've been going through since we got here, man.
And if ye will not yet for all this hearken unto me, then I will punish you 7 times more for your sins. Like, this is the time we got to wake up. Why are we going through the things we're going through? It's because we're not hearkening unto the Lord. And if we don't, it's not going to get better. It's not going to get better.
Speaking of getting better, flip the page. Go to verse 44.
Verse 40.
No. Pick back up at 41. Well, no, go ahead. Yeah, 40 is good. 40 is good.
Verse Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 40. If they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass which they trespass against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me, and that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies. If then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember.
Same covenant.
And I will remember the land. Keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
The land also shall be left of them, and shall enjoy her Sabbaths, while she lieth desolate without them. And they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquity, because they despise my judgments, and because their soul abhorred my statutes. And yet for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them. For I am the Lord their God.
Right, the Lord has not broken his covenant with us. We have broken the covenant. So even though we're getting punished, he still has not forsaken us. He said he ain't never going to forsake us. Go ahead.
But I will for their sakes remember the covenant of their ancestors, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt, in the sight of the heathen, that I might be their God. I am the Lord. These are the statutes and judgments and laws which the Lord made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses.
There's no doubt that we're the children of Israel. All of this we're going through is for a reason. It's because we have broken the covenant with the Lord. Sister Fannie Lou's, it's a great example. I felt like her story needed to be told. Now, give me the Atlanta race massacre. This is some wild stuff, man. Wild stuff. Evil people, man. Evil people.
1906 Atlanta Race Massacre. Paragraph 1. Violent attacks by armed mobs of white Americans against black Americans in Atlanta, Georgia, began after newspapers on the evening of September 22nd, 1906, published several unsubstantiated and luridly detailed reports of the alleged rapes of 4 white local women by black men.
So it was a report.
Unsubstantiated.
Yeah.
The violence lasted through September 24th, 1906. The events were reported by newspapers around the world, including the French Le Petit Journal, which described the lynchings in the USA and the massacre of Negroes in Atlanta. The Scottish Aberdeen Press and Journal under the headline Race Riots in Georgia, and the London Evening Standard under the headlines Anti-Negro Riots and Outrages in Georgia. The final death toll of the conflict is unknown and disputed, but officially at least 25 African Americans and 2 whites died. Unofficial reports range from 10 to 100 black Americans killed during the massacre, according to the Atlanta History Center. Some black Americans were hanged from lampposts. Others were shot, beaten, or stabbed to death. They were pulled from streetcars and attacked on the street. White mobs invaded black neighborhoods, destroying homes and businesses.
Just so y'all know, the reason that gangs came to be
was to protect our neighborhoods.
Yes, was to protect our neighborhoods from white mobs or white young men coming into our neighborhoods, snatching people and going beating the hell out of them. And they killed the leaders of these groups, and that's why you have these wicked gangs today. They didn't start out wicked. Even what is this SNCC, which is today is called WIC. That was started by our people to help women, infants, and children. Oh my goodness. Next one, Aria.
The Klansman Intentions. Historians and contemporary commenters cite the stage production of The Klansman by Thomas Dixon Jr. in Atlanta as a contributing factor to the city's race riot of 1906, in which white mobs rampaged through African American communities. In Savannah, where it opened next, police and military were on high alert and present on every streetcar going toward the theater. Authorities in Macon, where the play was next to open, asked for it not to be permitted, and it was not.
So they had released a movie called The Klansman before this riot, and they think that's what got them riled up like that. People always try to give their spin on history, like when you say mob violence, that means they went and snatched them out of the jail. A lot of times they didn't even make it to jail, because as soon as there was an accusation, they went into action. They're going to kill some niggas. Also, around this time, or slightly before this time, you had the original movie, Birth of a Nation, where it was no words. They didn't have audio. But they showed, black men raping white women. And that's crazy, because they're the easiest women on this planet to get.
It's probably the shame or the fear of her family finding out that it gets called rape.
Where is this? Hold on.
That's what I just read.
Okay, I thought it was some. Okay, let's go to the next one. Springfield race riot of 1908. Oh yeah, you're gonna like this one.
Springfield race riot of 1908 consisted of events of mass racial violence committed against African Americans by a mob of about 5,000 white Americans and European immigrants in Springfield, Illinois, between August 14th and 16th, 1908.
5,000.
And the Europeans came over here with that much hatred? European immigrants. Like, they came over here. Two black men, Joe James and George Richardson, had been arrested. James was accused of murdering a white man and attempting to rape his daughter. And Richardson was accused of raping a white woman, Mabel Hallam. When the sheriff had transferred the two suspects out of the city, white people began attacking black neighborhoods, killing black citizens, and destroyed black businesses and homes. The state militia was called out to quell the rioting. At least 17 people died, including 2 who died by suicide. It was misreported for decades that only militia were responsible for white deaths, and that more whites than black people had died. Personal and property damages suffered overwhelmingly by black people amounted to more than 150,000, approximately 5 million in 2024, as dozens of black homes and businesses were destroyed, as well as 3 white-owned businesses.
All right.
As a result of the rioting, numerous black people left Springfield, but it's unclear how many moved away permanently. Although in the following months, over 100 riot-related indictments were issued and some pleaded guilty to minor violations. Only one alleged rioter went to trial and convicted for lesser offenses. Of the 2 accused black men, who were the initial focus of the lynch mob, James was eventually tried, convicted, and hanged. Richardson was set free. Hallam admitted that she had lied to cover up an assault by her husband after he found out she was having an affair.
You see that?
Sheesh.
So her husband beat her because she had an affair, and she gonna blame it on a black dude getting raped by a black dude and cause a damn riot.
She cheated. Husband beat her up, and she go accuse a black man to save her husband.
Can't make this stuff up, man. Can't make this stuff up. And there's hundreds of riots and mobs. Look, because I got a book with 5,000 lynchings. 5,000 lynchings in 100 years, from 1865 to 1965. You even have something they call the Red Summer. Look that up real quick. I almost went into that, but that happened in so many different places I decided not to. Just put in Red Summer and hopefully you get a summary, because there's a whole lot to it.
1919 racial violence.
Yeah.
The Red Summer refers to the wave of racial violence and riots across the United States in 1919, marked by white-on-black attacks and widespread social unrest.
Yeah, it was in many states.
Yeah, it erupted into violence in more than 3 dozen cities and 1 rural county in Arkansas following World War I.
Oh. Hold on. No, I had left it out. So those riots from the Red Summer, that was because
You got post-war tensions, great migration. That's probably what you're looking for. Hundreds of thousands of African Americans moved from the rural South to northern and midwestern cities, which heightened racial hostility among white residents. Economic and labor unrest, racial prejudice and systematic racism, segregation, disenfranchisement, and the resurgence of the Ku Klux Klan created a climate of fear and oppression.
So, but in the Red Summer, that, you know what started a lot of them riots? was when brothers came back from World War One and they had on their
post-war tensions.
Yeah, and they were wearing their uniforms, and it pissed the white man off.
They said one happened in Norfolk too.
Yeah. Yeah, at the naval station down there.
I could say that's the biggest Navy base in the world.
Yeah.
And the South.
That's why I say it's so much stuff. There's no way. It's just so much stuff they have done. So much stuff. Anyway, let's get to this. Oh, I do have that in there. Some of it. Johnson. So we just did Springfield race, right? Give me Johnson. Johnson won. This is, y'all know who Jack Johnson is?
I want to say he was just in this article I just looked up.
He was this great big Jake, this great big black brother that was a boxer, and he was undefeated. This is when they used to like put tape on their hands, like bare knuckles. Yeah, go ahead and read that.
The Johnson-Jeffries riots were a series of race riots that occurred throughout the United States after African-American boxer Jack Johnson defeated white boxer James J. Jeffries.
Hold on a second. So y'all remember on Harlem Nights when they had the dude that stuttered? He was, yeah, and he beat the white dude, and every time the white dude would get a lick in on, all the white people would stand up. They mocking this stuff right here.
In a defeated white boxer James J. Jeffries in a boxing match termed the Fight of the Century. Johnson became the first black world heavyweight champion in 1908. This success made him unpopular with the predominantly white American boxing audiences. Jeffries, a former heavyweight champion, came out of retirement to fight Johnson and was nicknamed the Great White Hope. After Johnson defeated Jeffries on July 4th, 1910, many white people became enraged and began attacking black people who were celebrating Johnson's victory. I bet you they won't do another fight on July 4th again. Mess up their whole night. Background. Jack Johnson had attempted to become a heavyweight champion in boxing for several years, but had trouble doing so as the sport was heavily segregated at the beginning of the 20th century. He eventually did become world heavyweight champion after defeating Canadian boxer Tommy Burns in Sydney, Australia on December 26, 1908. Johnson, being heavyweight champion, angered many whites who saw his victory as a threat to white supremacy. Johnson's personal life also angered many white people, as he was notoriously flamboyant and married a white woman. Johnson was considered to be the most hated man in the United States.
I'm
surprised they let that happen.
No, go to the next one.
The riots. The fight came during a period of heightened racism in the United States. In 1910, 67 lynchings of African Americans occurred. Many white people were dismayed by the result of the fight and were angered by African Americans celebrating Johnson's victory and began attacking them. Within 2 days, 10 black people had been killed in 6 different states. Isn't that 2 years after the fight? Riots occurred throughout the country in major cities listed below. For us here, notably,
that's a lot of places,
Roanoke, Virginia.
Yep.
Not too far from us. You saw Norfolk in there?
Yep. Norfolk, Virginia, Roanoke, Virginia.
Yep. A lot of places in the South, even a couple on the West Coast. See Los Angeles in there. It is unknown how many people were killed and injured during the riots, but it is estimated that between 11 and 26 people were killed and hundreds more injured. These deaths included 3 black workers residing in a construction camp, which white gunmen opened fire upon during riots in Uvalde, Georgia, and a black man in Wheeling, West Virginia, who was lynched for driving an expensive car as it was reminiscent of Jack Johnson's flamboyant lifestyle.
Oh, my God. I'm talking about hatred, man.
Large mobs gathered in Norfolk, Virginia, where over 300 white Navy sailors searched the streets for black people, and in New York City, where within hours of the victory being announced, 11 separate riots erupted as white people entered black neighborhoods in mobs, stoning and setting fire to buildings.
Man, so now, Aryeh, pull up the civil rights, just go through them from 1 all the way to 11, just so people can see some of the stuff that we went through during the 60s. the mid 60s, maybe early 70s, but this is what we were going through at the time I was born. Yeah, there's Fannie Lou. Give about 6 or 7 seconds for each one. You see what the problem is with that one right there? We need segregation. We don't need to be with them.
And still to this day.
Yeah.
Still to this day, when Black Lives Matter was rampant, you had them so-called white people want to be in the front line. Look at, we're with you guys.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
So-
We can't if we defend ourselves, we get jail time.
35 years at least.
Look at that.
For defending yourself.
Where's the video or the footage of them doing that to themselves? They still do that too. That's why that dog got ran over the other damn day. They let him loose on the dude just hit the gas.
Mm. He probably got extra charges for that though.
There were parades for retired war dogs now.
Man, you folks crazy.
And y'all gotta remember, like, we amongst these people grandchildren, man.
Yep. Yeah,
Like,
but what did we want? What was our people trying to get right here?
equality.
Yes. To be looked at as human beings.
Can I eat here? Can I drink here? Can I use the bathroom here? Can I ride this bus? Can I work
Whites-
here?
Whites only pass.
I saw a video. They
Won't
was
even
like,
worth it. Burn this mouth all up.
Right? They said we fought for this. Eat to eat this white restaurant.
Oh yeah, that's classic.
Look at this, man.
But when you're traveling, especially back then, you might only have one little diner on a 100-mile road. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we had something called a little green book to where our people could travel and eat safely and stay in hotels when you're on the road. Look at this.
What threat?
Just want to be seen as equals and got to go through all that. Well, what does it take for you to realize these people hate you? They have a perpetual hatred for you.
Our people got mobbed, lynched, murdered just to eat this unseasoned food. What the world?
Damn.
And back to like the feeling of I was saying earlier today, man. We think we got it bad. I mean, trust me, the odds. It still ain't a fair fight in this world when it comes to them. But we got to reestablish our homes and communities again, man.
Yeah, and we got to do it underneath the Lord what the Lord said to do. Give me Luke 14. So the next few scriptures we're going to go over is to build us up for this last video. Damn. Luke 14. I think I want 14. Definitely want 14. I just need to see if I want to start above it. Oh, okay. Give me 13 and 14.
The book of St. Luke, chapter 14 and verse 13. Will now make us a feast, call the poor, the maimed, the lame, the blind,
Right?
and thou shalt be blessed, for they cannot recompense thee, for thou shalt be recompensed at the resurrection of the just.
So you'll get your recompense at the resurrection of the just. That's in Daniel 12. Because there's going to be a resurrection. Some going to go into everlasting damnation, and then some get the everlasting kingdom. The just get the everlasting kingdom, right? The resurrection of the just. Give me Acts 24 and verse 15. Of course, this is Paul.
The book of Acts, chapter 24 and verse 14.
Yeah, 14.
But this I confess unto thee, that after the way which they call heresy, so worship I the God of my fathers, believing all things which are written in the law and in the prophets.
Paul is a very powerful brother, especially if you understand him. Right? Go ahead.
And have hope toward God, which they themselves also allow, that there shall be a resurrection of the dead, both of the just and unjust.
Right. There's a resurrection. So you know he talking to Pharisees. The Sadducees ain't believing that. They ain't believing the resurrection. So they know it's going to be a resurrection of the just and the unjust, which goes back to, man. Yeah, hold on. Let me check. I got Luke 16:19. I might hit Daniel, because that's what it's talking about. This might be something different. Oh, I'm in Acts.
Oh, this is my Lazarus and the dogs coming to lick his sores.
Oh. Yeah, we'll hit that, but let's hit Daniel first.
Which one?
Daniel 12, and I think it's, you can read 1 and 2.
The book of Daniel, chapter 12 and verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time.
That's what we've been going through.
And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt.
Right. This is the resurrection that they're talking about. Both of them are speaking on the same thing, the just and the unjust. But the unjust will not get everlasting life. They're going to have the shame and everlasting contempt. Now, Luke 16, and start at verse 19. Remember all this stuff we're talking about, because you're going to hear it on this last video.
The book of Luke, chapter 16 and verse 19. There was a certain rich man, which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores.
So full of sores. So he had all kinds of problems, right? Go ahead.
And desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores.
So who's in here, the rich man? In verse 19, it says that the rich man was clothed in purple and fine linen. This would be your priest. Purple and fine linen. That's your priests. Not just regular Levites, but the sons of Aaron. And that beggar, Lazarus, represents the people that want to be fed. Go ahead, verse 22.
And it came to pass that the beggar died, and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died, and was buried.
So this lowly man, the beggar, died and was carried into Abraham's bosom, meaning the kingdom. Go ahead.
And the rich man, and in hell he lift up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off.
Afar off.
And Lazarus in his bosom.
Uh-huh.
And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame.
Mm-hmm.
But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in the lifetime received thy good things,
mm-hmm.
and likewise Lazarus evil things.
Mm-hmm.
But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented.
Come on.
And beside all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that would come from thence.
So you can't travel through this. There's a great gulf. You cannot travel through it.
Then he said, I pray thee therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send him to my father's house. For I have 5 brethren that may testify unto them, lest they also come into this place of torment.
So he's asking for somebody to go and speak to them so they don't come into the torment that he's going through, right? Go ahead.
Abraham saith unto him, they have Moses and the prophets. Let them hear them.
Damn. Yep, they have Moses and the prophets. Let them hear him, right?
Man,
go ahead.
heavy. And he said, Nay, Father Abraham, but if one went into them from the dead, they will repent.
Right? You would think so.
And he said unto him, If they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead.
So basically, he's saying they're not going to listen to me, to the Christ himself. But that represent your leaders, and Lazarus represent what? Yeah, the ones that's trying to learn and repent.
If I'm not mistaken, them dogs represent the leaders as well too.
The watchmen.
Moreover, the dogs came and licked their swords. They're supposed to be the one feeding the people and healing them.
Trying to help.
Right.
The dog's trying to help. Revelation 17. Remember all of this, y'all, because you're going to hear it in this last speech. Revelation 17, 5 and 6.
The book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
So who are the saints?
Israel.
Right. The saints are the children of Israel. This woman, Babylon the Great, is drunk with the blood of the saints.
The mother of harlots.
Yep. They have had a perpetual hatred for the children of Israel and slain us with the sword. My goodness. Revelation 18 and 8.
The book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judgeth her.
So she's going to be burned. Babylon the Great going to be burned in one day. That's judgment. Go ahead.
And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her, when they shall see the smoke of her burning.
The nations are going to see. Y'all know who these merchants of the earth bring all of their ware, all of their goods over here to the United States. What was it, 2 years ago? With the canal? Yeah, and they couldn't get over there, and it was backed up everywhere. The canal was backed up. The West Coast had ships was everywhere. Revelation 18, we had
10 now. We started off at 8. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come.
In 1 hour the judgment's going to come on Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots. My goodness. Revelation 11 and 8.
The book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
Their dead bodies. Whose dead bodies? Our dead bodies, the children of Israel, in that great city. Go ahead.
Verse 10, and they, in verse 9, and they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves.
Mm-hmm. And this is not talking about Moses and Elijah. It's talking about both kingdoms. Go ahead.
And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these 2 prophets tormented them that dwelt on earth. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Damn.
And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
That's at that last trumpet when that happens. And where's this coming from? All of it, you're going to hear all of this in this last video we're going to play. And before we go there, Ezekiel 37, because that's where this is coming from. Ezekiel 37 and 1 first.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 37 and verse 1. The hand of the Lord was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord, and set me down in the midst of the valley which was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry.
And they were very dry. Look at our people. Are you blind that you can't see this? The Spirit of God is not in our people. We're dead bones. And this is that great city. Go ahead.
And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord God, thou knowest. Again he said unto me, Prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord God unto these bones, Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live.
The same breath that was breathed into Adam, our forefather Adam, because we are the generations of Adam. Genesis 5. That breath of life was the commandments, the covenant that God made with the sons of God, a.k.a. the children of Israel. Verse 6.
Verse 6, And I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live. And ye shall know that I am the Lord.
All right, go ahead.
So as I prophesied, as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise. And behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone.
So this, you know what? You understand that this prophecy here is talking about now, not when Ezekiel lived. Because, you know, all through this book, it said, get to them of the captivity. Show you that most of the prophecies are twofold. There are two time periods. Because this never happened, both kingdoms being brought back together and having one king set over them. Go ahead.
And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them.
Because we have to start keeping the commandments. This has already happened. Now we're keeping commandments. Go ahead.
Then said he unto me, Prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, Thus saith the Lord God, Come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live.
See that? O breath. O breath. Go ahead.
So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army.
We just read that in Revelation 11. And all that saw us were in great fear, because they know the end is come. Verse 11.
Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel.
These bones are the whole house of Israel. Read.
Fit jointly together.
Yeah.
Behold, they say, Our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts.
Come on.
Therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel.
Behold, O my people, I'm going to bring you into your land, the land of Israel. Come on.
And ye shall know that I am the Lord when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves, and shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Then shall you know that I, the Lord, have spoken it and performed it, saith the Lord.
All praises to the Most High. Now, R.A., Give me the Malcolm X video.
Of dry bones in the valley is talking about you. The picture of Lazarus laying dead 4 days is talking about you. You are Lazarus. You are the dry bones. You are the prodigal son. You are the lost sheep. You are the people about whom the Bible is speaking, who will stand up in the last day when the trumpet is sounded. Black people are waking up. Black people are standing up. Black people are rising up, and they're throwing fright into that knee-shaking white man. We believe we are the people of God's choice. That's what we believe. We believe we're the chosen people. We don't believe Jews are the chosen people. We don't believe Jews are the ones going to the promised land. We don't think Jews are a part of God. No, Jews are nothing but another part of that same race of devils that come out of Europe. They didn't even come out of the Holy Land. They come out of the caves of Europe. A Jew, a Frenchman, an Irishman, all of them the same thing. A race of devils. They got different kinds. Germans, Irish, all of them the same thing. Just like you got a German Shepherd, Irish Setter, a French Poodle, a Chihuahua, but they all dogs. Furthermore, we believe we are the people of God's choice. As it is written that God would choose the rejected and despised, and we can find no other person fitting this description in these last days more than the so-called Negroes in America. We believe in the resurrection of the righteous. We believe in the judgment. We believe this first judgment will take place as God revealed right here in America. Right. The judgment will take place in America. The resurrection will take place in America. The judgment will take place in America. The separation will take place in America. And the destruction will take place in America. Doom will take place in America. Doomsday will take place right here. This is the place the Bible is talking about. When the Bible mentions Babylon, it means America. When the Bible mentions Sodom and Gomorrah, that's America. When the Bible mentions Egypt, that's America. This is Rome. This is Babylon. This is that wicked kingdom that God is going to come and set flame to in the last day. And you're living in that day right now. And I'm glad.
Hey, that's a very powerful speech by our brother Malcolm X. Man, he said a whole lot. That's why I went through all them scriptures so y'all understand what he's talking about, because he go through it fast. And like me and Roy was talking about, he don't mention the Quran not once.
In the Bible it says,
yeah,
in Revelation it says, Sodom and Gomorrah, in the Bible it says spiritually. That's what we
we are those people.
Not the other people.
Right. And this land is Babylon, yo. It is Babylon. Damn. Back to Ezekiel chapter 37 and give me start at 19.
The book of Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 19. Say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim,
Northern Kingdom,
and the tribes of Israel his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah,
Southern Kingdom,
and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand.
Bringing both kingdoms back together to one. Go
and
ahead.
the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. And say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their land, into their own land.
Mm-hmm.
And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all, and they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all.
From two to one. This hasn't happened yet. And we never going to be divided again. Come on.
Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions, but I will save them out of all the dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their God.
Damn, come on.
And David, my servant, shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them.
Come on.
And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children and their children's children forever. and my servant David shall be their prince forever.
Come on.
Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them.
Mm-hmm.
It shall be an everlasting covenant with them.
Everlasting covenant with them. Everlasting. Come
and
on.
I will place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore.
When he says set my sanctuary in the midst of them, that means he's going to live with them forevermore. With us forever. Go ahead.
My tabernacle also shall be with them. Yeah, I will be their God, and they shall be my people. And the heathen shall know that I, the Lord, do sanctify Israel, when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore.
Forever. Revelation 22. The Lord is coming to live with Israel on this earth. But we've been talking Christianity that people going to go up to heaven in the sky.
Book of Revelation, chapter 22 and verse 1. I'm assuming that's where you started.
No, I want 20. Yeah, 21.
Okay. 21? 21? Or 22?
Yeah, 21 and 1.
21 and verse 1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The book of Revelation, chapter 21 and verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
That's us. It's not the land right here. This is talking about us. Later in the chapter, it's the land. Go ahead.
And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of God is with men.
The house of God is with men. Come on.
And he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God.
And you know what? This proves that throughout the entirety of the Bible, the only thing being taught is the law and the prophets. Just because this is in what you call the New Testament, it's not new. We just read it in the Old Testament.
And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death.
Hold on, Roy, because that's hold on. Isaiah 65. I got the precept right here. I was just thinking it too. Isaiah 65:17.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 65, verse 17. For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind.
So just like I was saying, everything come right out of the Old Testament. All of this come right out of the Old Testament.
But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy.
Keep on.
And I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and joy in my people, and the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying.
That's he gonna take away the weeping. Where it's in Revelation, I shall wipe away all their tears. Directly out of the Old Testament. Keep going.
The book of Revelation, chapter 21 and verse 5. And he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new.
Damn.
And he said unto me, write, for these words are true and faithful. And he said unto me, it is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son.
He shall be my son. This Alpha and Omega, this is Christ. So I've been saying for a while now, we made the covenant we made with Christ. But the only way to be, because of our disobedience, the only way to be accepted by the Father is through Christ. All praises that he sent him to redeem us. I know this class has been a little long in it too, but hey, we didn't get to go out today because it was so hot. So we need this anyway. We need this type of stuff. We need to touch on history because you need it to show that we don't need to be walking hand in hand with these people and doing the stuff that they do.
And it's a reality check because Christianity has not connected, like we read in the beginning of this class. She connected the stories of the scriptures with the civil rights movement. She knew the struggles of the people, what the people were going through based off the scriptures. You get in Christianity, you don't even read the history anymore. You just go straight to just follow Christ without any understanding of what that means, why we're in the situation we're in, why we need to follow him, what the outcome of that is going to be, which we just read.
And you know, Roy, like what you're just saying is a similitude that they mentioned earlier talking about her. So the black bourgeoisie did not accept her. But like it said on the wiki, that you need people that have been through these things to explain the plight of our people. The bourgeoisie can't explain to you the plight of our people because they don't live it.
And they also trying to assimilate themselves in other cultures
Yep.
because of paperwork, degrees, some form of certificate saying that you excelled somebody else by their doctrines.
But meanwhile, the Lord looks at the hearts of men.
The wisdom of this world is foolishness to the Most High.
Last scripture, close out scripture. John 7. Excellent. I'm glad we really touched on this, sister. Watch this, y'all. Just look at how they looked at her. 14 and 15. John chapter 7, verse 14 and 15.
The book of John, chapter 7 and verse 14. Now, about the midst of the feast, Jesus went up into the temple and taught. And the Jews marveled, saying, How knoweth this man letters, having never learned?
See, it's the same way they was looking at her. She didn't go to the prestigious schools that we went to. She don't even have a formal education. But she's a very powerful speaker, and she didn't write it down. She went by memory. She went by what was in her spirit. All praises to the Most High. So, all right, y'all, there's your 4th of July class. All praise to the Most High. He shut down most of it with that heat.
As we can hear fireworks in the distance.
Foolishness. All right, y'all. That's been today's class. I have given the dearly beloved of my soul to her enemies. I'm Brother Jacob.
Brother Roy.
With that, we say shalom.
Where they at, though? Where they at, though? Where they at, though? We out here looking for the third. Where they at, though? Where you at, though? Where they at, though? We out here looking for the third. In the streets trying to teach but the feast that we keep and the laws to be sealed. Tell them love not the world, not the things that we see. That's the lust of the flesh. And this world pass away, but the laws live forever. And the king of forever, they that keep on forever. Him will I make a pillar in the temple of my God. He will go no more out, he will reign over all. With a rod, that's that iron. To the one that overcometh. We the kings, we the priests, we the gods on this earth. We the salt of the earth, but where they at though? Where they at though? Where they at though? We out here looking for the third. So he carried me away in the spirit, right into the wilderness. And I saw a woman